What's up? What's up, everybody? Ryan and Sean here for another week 4 recap. This time we got the battle of the Shawns. That's Sean here versus Sean, Mikey's cousin. For Sean here, he started off with Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, T. Higgins, Raheem Mostert, Kyron Williams, Darren Waller playing in the game tonight, and then Javonte Williams and Ramondre Stevenson. All right, Sean, so I know you're not liking your Darren Waller here. What are you liking with your team?
3 players I'm liking, and only 3 players on my starting roster. Got Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. So you got that tandem right there.
Yeah.
Those 2 guys alone scored 71 points for me. Literally half of my points just on those 2 players. So just like Mikey going with the Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, QB wide receiver stack, I went with a QB wide receiver stack here with these 2. So anytime Stephon Diggs has a big game, it's going to be correlated with Josh Allen. Kyron Williams was probably my biggest pickup on the waiver wire this season. Just amazing, especially since they traded Cam Akers. He's getting almost 100% of the snap usage.
Yep.
So phenomenal.
I mean, if you look at Kyron Williams' stat line, he had 25 rush attempts. That's ridiculous.
And he gets receiving work, and Sean McVay trusts him with pass pro.
Yeah.
So anytime I have a running back, if they get into the good graces of the coach with pass protection, I mean, that's just a bonus because you're going to be out there on those usage plays anyways.
Yep.
For me, the biggest thing is T. Higgins getting hurt with a broken rib. Javonte Williams looks like they said hip. I've seen some people say groin. But if it's just a hip, it looks like he's going to be back. So we'll see with that. The biggest thing on my bench is definitely Pacheco right here. I was torn on whether to start Pacheco, Jerome Ford, Cooper, or Javonte Williams. The Cooper and Ford one was pretty easy with the backup quarterback. So I was looking at Javonte or Pacheco, and my boy gets hurt here, and Pacheco goes off against the Jets of all defenses.
Yeah, I mean, that's unfortunate. You know, you can never predict that. The thing that I saw with Javonte Williams was that it was a hip flexor, and because he has this other injury, I've also seen that it's possible that the Broncos might scale back his usage a little bit more when he comes back, just so that way, he can actually get healthy, but especially from the injury last year, So I going forward, it's going to be interesting. I don't know.
I don't know if they would scale back his usage. I know they wanted to increase Jaleel McLaughlin's.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, and Daniel Jones with another sack. Unbelievable.
Hey, but you know what? While we were talking about it, your boy Darren Waller just got another reception, though. I did see his points go up from 1 to 2.3. So there you go. You got a little bit more usage.
Whatever. T. Higgins and Javonte Williams still have more points, and they have real injuries.
I will say though, the good thing for your team here with Pacheco, a lot of the analysts that I've been watching and listening to, they've been saying that he's been getting pretty consistent usage. Like the Chiefs do have their other backs in CEH and McKinnon, but Pacheco's been the most consistent, and they've increased his usage obviously from week 1 through now, and he's been pretty efficient throughout each week. So I think you've got a pretty good flex right here, and if you wanted to trade him away, it's a good trade target for.
Yep. I think at this point, I mean, Raheem Mostert, I almost refuse to say his name at this point. Of an era gone by, so we'll see how that goes. But at this point, I feel like Pacheco is now my number 2 RB behind Kyron Williams.
All right, let's move on to Sean's team here. So Sean started this week Lamar Jackson, Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones, Khalil Herbert, Mark Andrews, Mike Evans, and Deebo Samuel. So what did you like from Shawn's team here?
What I liked is also what scared me, and that was Lamar Jackson right there with 28 points.
Yeah.
I was actually watching Red Zone, and Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson were on the 10 o'clock schedule, and those guys throughout that 10 o'clock window were going back and forth trading touchdowns.
True.
So that made me a little nervous there. Also made me nervous when I had Devontae Adams in the 1 o'clock game waiting for that. I was conflicted about that because I have him in another league, and he goes down with a slight injury. So I mean, I have Higgins and Javonte Williams go out with an injury. Shawn has Devontae Adams go out with an injury, at least come back, and then he had Mike Evans go out with an injury. He didn't come back. So
yeah,
both our teams were pretty hampered with injuries. Khalil Herbert goes off against my Broncos. Pretty much anyone that's going up against the Broncos is going to go off at this point. And then Mark Andrews here again. Just like my stack with Josh Allen and Diggs, Shawn had that stack with Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews, and that one hit. So
yeah, no, that was a good stack, and I loved this game for Mark Andrews. Anytime I saw the Ravens game come on, I felt like I was seeing Mark Andrews just get the ball and run with it. So he looked good. He looks like he's finally healthy. Unfortunately, we did see Jamar Chase kind of poo-poo this game. It wasn't as bad of a poo-poo as Shawn made it seem to be throughout through his text message to us. But you know, it's not a dud. It's not a 0 game, so you're fine. Unfortunately, Deebo Samuel does have that injury, so I don't know what his usage is going to be. I'm curious to see if San Fran here tries to hold him out for like 1 or 2 games just so he can get healthy, because they have enough options there to play without him.
I don't think they're going to hold him out. I think he's fine. I don't really think he's too hurt. It's just one of those things where it's going to be a Kittle, you got Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, and then you have CMC. And at any point, you're going to have 1, maybe 2 guys go off, and then 2 other guys be left out. So
yeah,
at that point, if it was CMC and Brandon Ayuk, there's really no point for Samuel to risk injury. I believe he only had 1 target. So I mean, at that point, you could say he was just a decoy, but there was really no need for him to take any unnecessary hits when they already had that game in hand.
Yeah. I think the most interesting thing here with Shawn's team, and I think it's an interesting thing because it can go in so many different directions, is just the fact that Indianapolis has designated Jonathan Taylor to return from the PUP. How do you think Jonathan Taylor's gonna pan out? Do you think he's gonna end up playing, or do you think they're gonna sit him healthy and active?
I mean, the latest Twitter news is he hasn't had anyone calling for trades with Indy.
Yeah.
So at that point, my assumption is gut feeling would probably be like Josh Jacobs. You saw Josh Jacobs. You saw, I think it was J.K. Dobbins for a little bit at the beginning of the season. When you saw all these running backs kind of try and do their little protests or holdout or whatever, and you look at that and we've all forgotten about it and everyone's playing. Basically at this point, JT coming off of an injury, missing all these games. I think at this point he's going to have to try and play, even if he gets traded in the offseason. Other teams are going to want to see some sort of video, some sort of documented history this season on how he looks currently. So I would think it's in his best interest to play.
No, I definitely agree. And Zach Moss has been playing well for Indianapolis, but he's no Jonathan Taylor. That's for sure. He does not have that skill set. All right. Well, looks like you're going to win it here. Come out with the win. You're gonna go 4-0. Shawn's gonna find his first loss here, going 3-1. Congrats to you. I'm sorry, Shawn, but good luck next week. That's it. We'll catch you guys in the next one.